What is absolutely happening, everyone? My name is Jared. This is Bric Studios. This behind me, there's a lot of different Lego stuff over here, and above there's a lot of Lego boxes. I've opened all the boxes, and I've used all the Legos, and I've displayed some of them. I've played with some of them. Don't worry, they've been opened. They're just there because I like the box art. But this represents to me the tone that I want to set, is that I'm surrounded by things that I like to do, and surrounded by my hobbies. And Lego is one of my hobbies, but I want to dive into it more, and I want to show you why representation in Lego is important. I think talking about representation sets the tone going forward. All these minifigures in front of me are important to me because they represent a part of my family history, and I get to see it kind of on display. It feels very stereotypical. I will be honest with you. This is very stereotypical, but I didn't really expect much from Lego as far as like true representation. You know, it's a company. How can you really display representation in a authentic way without kind of coming off as cheesy? So they're doing the best they can, but I think that this is an important topic to talk about. Creating with a purpose and collecting with a purpose is important to me. Displaying all this in front of you like this is the most important version of that, because I'm creating and collecting something that represents me. I think that's also important with stuff like the botanical sets or the greenery that Lego makes, because I'm pretty sure at a certain date, I don't remember when it was, they started using recycled plastic for their green items. Because how ironic would it be if you built stuff out of plastic that looked like trees and leaves, but it wasn't eco-friendly? They're also heading towards paper bags, Lego is, and so they're heading in the right direction. I do think there is a lot of excess out there with Lego, and the licensed stuff is also a lot of, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way. I can get into that, and I will get into that. And that's what this channel is going to be about, is getting into that. I want to give you some context as to why I have this collection in front of me. Full transparency, I am a Mexican-American, though I'm not from Mexico and I'm many generations removed. My grandma, who I'm most connected to, has taught me a lot of the aspects of the culture that I've carried out to my life today. I would love to talk more about that and what that means and what that is like for me on my main channel. This is not the place for it. This is a place to review these figures specifically. I tell you all this because this collection in front of me is actually a big part of forming that identity for myself as I grow into young adulthood. I am pretty sure I'm a young adult now at this point. Regardless, the years I've spent cultivating an identity for myself has been tied up in Lego and tied up in my family history. And I want to display that to me and now to you. Lego's Bric Heads line had a few holiday-themed BriCheads, one of which being La Katrina. And I really liked her, and I really liked this figure and all the print that went along with it. It's really unique, and I really like it a lot. But after ordering it, I was curious, is this like it? Is there only one piece of my heritage displayed in Lego? And sure enough, no. There was tons more. I was surprised to find out how much I didn't know about Lego's collectible minifigure line. One of which being 2016 or the 16th series, I don't remember, mariachi band member, which is super cool and super fun. And I liked it a lot that I was like, yep, I'm going to get that. And then I was thinking, there's got to be more, right? There's a sombrero piece. So what other sombreros are there? Looking extensively on BricLink to see if there is other characters and minifigures that related to my heritage in some way, I found 5 actually, with sombreros. You probably see more sombreros on here than 5. I'll get to these in a minute. Let me put them off to the side. But let me explain the 5 over here, at least 4 of them. 3 of them are from the collectible minifigures line. One from 2010, one from 2016. Those 2 are mariachi band members. And then the other one is just a little kid with a piñata, which was really cute to see. And this print on this piñata, on that animal piece, super cool. I had to get that. That was actually the first one I got. And then I ended up getting the other sombreros, one of which from the Lego Movie line, which is a Taco Tuesday guy, basically. That's basically what they call him, this Taco Tuesday guy. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just Taco Tuesday is very an Americanized thing, and the Lego movie being my favorite movie, I'm glad we have other sombrero-wielding minifigures on here, and it's not just the Taco Tuesday guy, because that would have been a little interesting. All stereotypical Mexican symbols, mariachi, piñatas, Taco Tuesday, but nonetheless, fun to see. The other sombrero is actually pretty recent. It's from 2021's Looney Tunes collectible minifigures line, and he is a really beloved character by a lot of people. I know there's been discussion about that online, but he's a really liked character. He's the hero in a lot of situations, and he's just really fun. Of the 3 remaining right over here, 2 have luchador masks on. Reminds me of my brother and I when we would ride in this topless Jeep toy, the ones you can ride when you're a kid and drive around in, and they just sound like a waning engine on them, and it's hilarious. Especially hilarious when your dad's filming you and he has you put his masks on. They're awesome. So those were fun, and as you would have guessed, one's a collectible minifigure line and the other is from the Lego movie. Look at the Lego movie giving us representation. The last one right here is actually from a 1999 set, which is a Jungle Adventures set, which was a part of the Adventures series and theme that was going on. I was barely even alive, and so I vaguely remember the Adventure series. Senor Palomar. He just has a really, really angry face. So yeah, these were all really well done and unique sets from Lego. Even though they're mostly collectible minifigures and they came in those poly bags, nonetheless, the attention to detail is really cool and really colorful and vibrant. So I gave them all instruments that represent kind of them being in a band, I love that they're all playing together in kind of a mariachi band. I know the luchadors don't necessarily have anything because I don't have enough instruments right now, but when I do get enough, they'll have them. I also included the Build a Minifigure line of figures. I got 2 of these. Now, these 2 are interesting because they actually include custom printing. The custom printing I'll link below from who I got them from. Now, this was cool to see at the Build a Minifigure section in the Lego store. I just got them a few days ago, and what I love about them is that the design on the torso gives off like a skeleton underneath their vest. I love it because the front and the back have unique patterns, and they're actually a set of components. What am I trying to say? The Build a Minifigure usually has a bunch of different parts from the minifigure bin, but because of COVID, they kind of make their own figures and make it like a collectible minifigure line themselves. And so they add a skull head, a typical skull head, onto this, not the one I printed or got printed, and they include it with that chest piece. I like it because it works. Like, I can't find that torso anywhere except for on Bric, and they're only from the collectible minifigure line, which makes me think that that was on purpose. Printing that was on purpose, and it was something that they thought about doing and hadn't done yet, or maybe they would have done it for Day of the Dead with La Katrina here, but what is important is that it exists and it's cool. So I had to get 2 of them, and if I could get more, I would have, but I saw a penguin that I really wanted, so I got that instead, and I want to put them on these. What I want to say, though, is that this is the only woman. All the rest are men and a piñata and a mouse man. There is a really cool design. I forget who it's by, but I'll credit them and show it to you, that there is a minifigure of La Katrina that exists in a render that I really would love to see. At least for me, I would love to see more women represented in this way in Lego because, I don't know, at least on the behalf of someone like my grandmother who has been a big part of knowing about my heritage. And the grandmother and grandmother succession that I've learned about, would love to see more women out here because that render would have been really cool to see as a minifigure. Though I love this Brickheads, that would have been really cool and really, really important. With that in mind, I would love to introduce to you a woman to this collection. So the next figure that's part of this line of figures is something that's not stereotypical, that's recently made, that's a woman, also part of the LGBTQ community, and part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe America Chavez. America Chavez is from the Multiverse of Madness, the new Doctor Strange movie, and there's a set based around that I will be reviewing next week, opening her. And overall, I think she's a great addition to this collection. And sorry, Pinata, but I'm going to add you to your owner and put her over here. So that ends my review of all these culturally significant minifigures that, at least to me, allow me to express who I am through the things that I love. I know this is very Mexican-centric, and I know there is stuff like the Madrigal family and Miles Morales and tons of others that I cannot think of off the top of my head. Would love to include it here, but for now I'm showing off what I do know. And those characters, they're not really stereotypical like a lot of this is. So as I said, next week I'll be reviewing America Chavez in the Multiverse of Madness set while also reviewing the movie while I build the set. There'll be more movie build reviews in the future as well, and I just hope that all the things that Bric King Studios does, that we do it with dedicating ourselves to building, creating, and collecting with a purpose.